This month, chess created a huge polemic. The International Chess Federation has provisionally banned transgender women from female-only events. As you can expect, this measure sparked a huge controversy in many fronts. On one extreme, we have conservative media branches that use this news in order to support the movement of keeping women's spaces for women. On the other extreme, media from the trans community has seen this as yet another attack on trans women, but this attack is grounded on, they claim, misogyny first, and second, on considering women as intellectually inferior. Therefore, the purpose of this video is to give you some context of the situation in the game of chess. The decision made by the International Chess Federation contains many details that do not get to the mainstream press, and it is very difficult to see what's really going on when the topic is this polemic. So, I hope this video will be useful so you can form your own opinion with more complete information. So, let's go. Well, something that some of you may already know is that in chess we have two different categories. An open one, open to everyone regardless of age, gender, etc. and a women-only category. Why? Well, to begin with, in chess there's an overabundance of men with respect to women. On average, there's one woman for every 10 men. But okay, one thing is to say that there's, a disproportion in the members of the game, but another very different one is to say that women are less able to play chess well than men. However, in chess we have a rating system that tells you how strong you are. So the numbers will go from 400, sort of, that's a very rough beginner, to 2800, let's say, and that's around the rating of the current number one, Magnus Carlsen. So the greater your number, the stronger a chess player you are, right? And if you compare, for instance, a 1600 with a 1400 player, most likely the 1600 player will win. And this rating system helps us predict who's gonna win at a game of chess. Of course there are upsets, but in general it shows what's really going on. And well, here comes the thing. When you look at the top 100 players as of today, August 2023, there's not a single woman in the top 100 of the world. Why again? So this is what Leoncho Garcia, whom you may know from the meme Maravillosa Jugada or Outstanding Move, he's the most renowned chess journalist in the world, and he phrases this as the great mystery of chess. Namely, how is it possible that in a game in which physicality plays such a small role, right? It's not a competition for strength, right? But rather it is an intellectual game. How is it possible that men perform so much better than women? So throughout the history of chess, this inequality between the performance of men with respect to women has led many, even world champions like Bobby Fischer, to take a very misogynistic account to explain why we have such a difference. For instance, now that I mentioned Fischer, Fischer used to say, well, when asked, why do you think women don't play chess as well as men? And his answer was like, well, because they're not very smart, really. So he was a world champion, Kasparov, I think by the end of the 80s, he also said that women are not, they are weak fighters, right? Then he rectified in the early 2000s, especially I bet because of Judith Polgard. You can Google to have some fun. So many misogynistic accounts, let's say, have appeared in the history of chess to explain this difference in performance between men and women. And please let me know in the comments section if you would like me to make a video on the history of misogyny in chess. There's actually a lot of material, and I can give you not only, the registers of, guys being misogynistic towards women, but rather what scientific explanations we have for this difference in performance, right? And also a bit more of the history of the Polgar sisters, who are the greatest counterexample to all the misogynistic accounts. Judith Polgar, whom I mentioned already, she is the only woman in history to make it to the top 10 players in the world of chess. And she was there, very consistently. She was one of the strongest in history. So I mean, the strongest woman in history by far, but also one of the strongest in the world, and an excellent chess player, especially if you like attacking chess. Now, back to this transgender polemic. It's not that we just have two categories of events, this open category and the women-only category, but also each category has their own titles. So if you have heard of the names Grandmaster, International Master, FIDE Master, well, all of those are titles, right? And the ones I mentioned just now belong to the open category. However, in the women category, we have Woman Grandmaster, and we have Woman International Master, and then Woman FIDE Master, and so on. So we have different systems of grades in which, in order to be a Woman Grandmaster, you need a rating of 2300. But in order to be a Grandmaster, which, it's not male or man Grandmaster, right? It's just a Grandmaster. There are several women who have the Grandmaster title and the Woman Grandmaster title, but in order to be a Grandmaster, you need a rating of 2500, which is much more demanding. So this is, I think, the essence of the measure that the International Chess Federation took. After these news were released in the professional chess world, we had divided opinions. So, for instance, woman Grandmaster Jennifer Shahade, she gave an interview the press in the United States, claiming that this is absolute nonsense. This measure by the International Chess Federation makes absolute no sense, and also damages the community, right? By preventing these spaces. If chess is an equalizer game, normally it is described as such, because it's just your intellect what plays along, then that's the only thing that should matter, right? But on the other hand, all the players like Grandmaster Elizabeth Petz, she said okay, all good until someone with more than 2500 of rating decides to transition, let's say, right? To make this transition official, because then we will have all these professional problems that will affect or disrupt professional women's chess. And the reason is that there are only 12 women in the world above the rating of 2500. Therefore, if a new contender were to appear with that amount of rating, with that chess strength, that person would have a very realistic shot at becoming world champion, for instance, women world champion. Therefore, by taking this measure, the International Chess Federation is starting a process of studying what strategy would be used now that more and more they are getting requests of change of gender from many players around the world. So the main downside of this process that the Federation started is that it will take a long time. In the communication, they say that it will take no more than 2 years, 2 years. So it'll be 2 years of trans women being banned from events, right? But I understand that this is a very serious problem at the pro level. But what about, amateurs and people, of my level, let's say, who are not pros? Then what's the deal, right? What's the problem? So let's see how long they will take to fix the situation, and let's see if the polemic keeps going on. And well, thank you very much for listening to me. This video a bit different from the usual, teaching philosophy or Greek, etc. But as you know, I'm a very huge chess fan myself, and I thought that by clarifying the points of this debate, this would be a contribution for you to be well informed about it, so you can make your own mind. So please subscribe to the channel, give it a like, share it with your friends, and please leave in the comments if you have any other questions, or if you want me to talk in more depth about some aspect of what I said. Okay, take care.